Hey guys, Bushcraft family here today, and as you know, we're going to talk about the stuff that's going on with Texas. Big wake up call, big wake up call. Um, I still get a lot of stuff. Um, People say preppers are this and that, and they're fear mongers and all this talk and stuff. And I'm like, why is it so hard to believe preppers are only prepping? They're not just prepping for like the end of the world and all that crap that doomsday preppers put out there. Um, there are preppers that were fine during all this that went on in Texas. I know there are a few people that are down in Texas and they were fine. Their power went off, yes. Their heat went off, yes. They had plenty of food and water to get past all this. And it really irritates me. I watched a show that came on last night, and a guy wanted to be off the grid and stuff. And everybody and their brother was saying how bad this person was, and he's just because he wanted to live off grid. And it really irritated me, and it still irritates me when you hear about stuff on the news about prepper and this and that and somebody living off grid. Um, they're not all bad people. It's a big stereotype that if you put a bunch of food away and save it just in case something bad happens, that you're expecting the world to end and all this. No, we expect bad things to happen, like they do happen all the time in life, and it really irritates me. And I don't know how that a prepper can get past that big stereotype. Then when there's shows on that shows how nutty some people are, and that's just like everywhere else. Just because there's one person or five people or 10 people that they're all bad. And that's the same way with cops. Defund the police because there's one bad cop. Yes, there's bad cops. That doesn't mean they're all bad. Just like Black Lives Matter, there are some good people in that group. There are some bad people. It doesn't mean the whole group is bad. It's just like everything else. Um, we could go down the list of different things. Um, but let's get back to the subject at hand. My rant for today is about that. Let's go ahead and switch it over. As you can see, one of the things the with the power going out and the gas lines were froze, and the main thing is people down in Texas were not prepared for this. Not only the people, but the government, the state, and everything. Um, People like this guy's 60-year-old man froze to death in his bed. I mean, look at us. We have computers and we have little cell phones that are this big and have bigger than computers were 10 years ago, or smaller than big computers were 10 years ago. You know what I mean. We're at this day and age to where we have mouthy cats. Shush. I'm trying to do some recording here. Go lay down. Shush. It never fails. But yes, we're at a day and age where we have cars or cars that drive themselves, but we don't have the weather can still toss all that back to the dark ages. And it was dark ages in Texas and Oklahoma and a lot of states. I mean, it's this way in Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee. There's thousands of people without power, and just like this guy right here, died. He froze to death in his bed. It's horrible to think of this. Let's go ahead over to here. Um, Now we're going from the power situation. Now we're going to the water situation. Um, there are a lot of people that don't have water. There are a lot of people that can't drink the water because it's unsanitary, and they have to boil it. Now, if preppers were bad and they have a bunch of water, um, what is so bad about prepping and storing a bunch of water back? Now, for preppers, one of the key things that they slack on is water. Now, I have plenty of water. I have plenty of food. Um, One thing I found out when my power actually did go out for a bit, um, I lost my heat, as many of you may know from me not being on line for a while. Um, I did lose my ability to heat my house with my gas furnace. The blower went out, so um, I had to use electric heaters. Now the power went out, so I'm home without any heat, no electricity or anything like that. Now, if I had little kids, I would have been worried. It was just me and my son. Um, we do have sleeping bags and we have stuff we can keep warm. Now, when my power went out, the very first thing I did, um, I went and filled up everything in my house. My bathtub completely full of water. My bathroom sink completely full of water. My kitchen sinks full of water. Then I went downstairs, shut my water off, then turned all my spigots back on so that there would be no water in the lines. I don't know how long my water or my electric was going to be out. So that's the first thing I did, um, which pretty much saved my pipes. Because if not, my pipes would have busted because there was no way, um, if there was a long period of power outage, then we weren't going to get any water. So that means all that water would have been stuck in them lines, hence frozen pipes. So that saved that. So now I have no heat. So we bundled up, and the heat wasn't too bad for the period that it was out for, what, 12 hours. And it got down to maybe 28 degrees in the house. Now, I'm in Ohio. We've had below freezing for um, today, actually, the 21st. Well, last night, the 21st was the very first day we actually got above freezing. So that meant we haven't had. Really, cat? Stop. Jeez. We've been freezing for a while. So when I say it got down to approximately 28 degrees in the house, and that was without any heat at all. Now, me being a prepper, I was not prepared for this. Um, so that really concerns me right there. And I'm about ready to throw something at the cat over there. Sorry. I didn't hit the cat, don't worry. Um, but yeah, that really concerns me. So I have to come up with a way um, to heat my house, and one way is a wood stove. So I'm going to start looking for a way for me to heat my house if said power's out and I have no way of heating my house. So that's one thing I have to work on. Um, but back to the crisis at hand in Texas. Now, here's the next thing. As you can see here, um, they have no food. All their stores are running out. There's some pictures down here with empty shelves again. And I've said this before on previous videos, and especially down in Texas, everybody says they all their shelves are stocked. They have plenty of food. They don't have to worry about it. Well, guess what, guys? Your shelves are empty now. Um, and you can see that there's tons of people without. There's still 350,000 people without power. Still, and that's hard to believe. That's just in Texas. You can go look at other states. There's other states without power still. Oklahoma, Mississippi. Like I said, it's a lot, and you gotta wonder: um, is it bad? Is it really that bad to be a prepper? Um, even me, that I do videos helping people about how to prep and how to store food and this and that. I got cut off from heat, and yeah, that it gets you wondering. It can get bad for anybody, even for me. I thought I was all prepared for everything, except for that one thing. Um, like I could go outside and start fires and keep warm that way, but that's not going to warm the inside of my house. So that got me a bit worried. And um, there's I could use propane to heat with, but that means I have to go to the store and buy more propane. That's another resource that you could stock up on, but propane is not something that you can store for a long period of time. They say you can and all this. You can go rent these things, but they have an expiration date on those bottles themselves. So if you store that for 5 years and you go out to use it and it's empty, you're stuck. Now, what I'm thinking is a wood stove, something that I could um, fashion something with one of my windows or a hole in a chimney, because this is an old house. This is over 100-year-old house, so I'm sure I could use the chimney to get the pipes to go out the chimney and whatnot. But that's something I have to think about. But I sit there and look at all these people that are standing in line to get water, uh, basic things. Um, they have no way of filtering the water that they do have. Some people are still boiling their water. Sure, that cuts out a lot of bacteria and stuff that can be bad, but there's a lot of stuff that is still in that water, and they need a way to filter it. The best way is to filter your water, then boil it, and then you can drink it. Um, as far as food, there's a lot of people that store food um, that have tons of canned food and stuff. Well, guys, the canned food will freeze unless you have a way of keeping it warm and whatnot, warming it up. Um, that's another issue. Now, when my power went out and all this stuff, um, I did start a fire outside next to my garage, and I heated stuff up, and I cooked outside because it was technically only maybe 10 degrees warmer in my house than it was outside, so it was really not that big of a deal. Um, but if it would have got down to, like, one night it got down to 5 or 3 degrees, that might have been a little bit more dangerous for us. I do have sleeping bags for us that will keep us warm during that, but we have to get out and do stuff. But yes, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. We've been going on for a while. I could talk about this for hours. I really need to start doing live streams so I can go over this stuff more in depth and stuff like that. But please, if you're not a prepper now, please think about it. If you need help, you can contact me, email me. I'll help you step by step how to start off. There's a lot of good preppers out there that have channels that give you great tips. I would suggest not going to one source. Always go to other sources, and because everybody has different opinions and ideas, and some of them are better than others. Some of them are better. My ideas might be better for you than another person, other than my cat's being mouthy. But yeah, guys, like I said, if you need help, email me. Tell me that you're wanting to start prepping and how to go about it and stuff like that. Um, I've got videos at the bottom of the videos. My email is down there. I'm gonna go ahead and take off from here. I'm glad. I'm really glad to be back. I'm gonna try to start pumping out a lot of videos. I did find out that my last video um, shouldn't talk about the stuff I talked about on that video because it didn't get approved very. It didn't get okayed by the big YouTube peoples. So we learned a lesson there. So hopefully that's the only video that happens that way. Um, but guys, yes, I think this is a big wake up call. It was for me. Hopefully it was for everybody else out there. Until next time, please like, share, comment, and if you're not subscribed, please do so. Until next time, God bless.